Hello, buddies, and welcome back to this masterclass for the beginner in Python programming language. It's your guy here once again, the Wolf, and welcome. So, as of today, guys, we are going to learn about Python elif statement, right? In the previous lesson, we learned about if statements, but of today, you know what? We're gonna continue moving ahead. So, let's start by defining what is elif keyword, right? So the elif keyword is a Python way of saying if the previous condition were not true, then try this condition. So the elif keyword allows you to check the multiple expressions for true and execute a block of code as soon as one of the condition evaluates to be true. So without much do, we can just do it on our ID here, and I'm using PyCharm, remember? So if you don't have one, just go to my previous lessons and learn on how to install that one. So I will start off by cleaning this. No, I don't need to create a new file though because of time, right? So let me just delete that. And now I will just create a variable here and I'll just call it A. Then I will assign a value of, let's say, my age, 32, right? 32, just like that. And then let me create another one. Let's say B, a variable B, and assign it age of, let's say, again, 32, right? My keyboard, 32. And then now I just want to use an if, and then, okay, let me just use if. I say if B, let's say if B is greater than A, then what should I do? Maybe I should print something. Let me say B is greater than A, right? Well, you have to use the elif statement here. Elif, that's how it's being pronounced. I don't know. So hit enter, and then I will just say, remember I did indentation there, so I just use, in fact, okay, elif is elif. Now elif statement, elif, we can say that A is equal to, remember to put double of them, these equal signs should be two of them, that meaning is equal to, that is how it means. So it's equal to B, that's self statement. So I can now put what? I can again print A and B are equal now. So copy this if you're lazy, Control V, and now this you should say A and B are equal. So you should say A. So if I print these out, well, let's find out. It's taking more. Okay, there we go. So A and B are equal because B is not greater than, but if maybe we change this value here and run again, now we will print B is greater than A, which is true, right? So let's again do in this. So what we have done here is that in this example, A is equal to, in fact, let me just get it back. So in this case, A is equal to B. So the first condition is not true, but the elif condition is true. So we print the screen. To the screen, A and B are equal. That's what we just did. So let's do a multiple elif statements. So you can have as many elif statements as you need, and Python will check each condition in order and execute the first one that is true. So wherever we have men which are, maybe let's say that we have the true, like we have many of them, which is true. So Python will just print the first one. So testing multiple condition with just, let's say, let me just delete some here. So I will, let me just have a score of, let's say, 75, right? Let's say I have a score of 75. And then now I can use if statement here. If I can say if score is greater or equal. That's what that means. Is if the score is greater or equal to, let's say, 90, then we can print out and say that, just print and have that. So we can say that the grade oh, just delete that. So the grade I can say that that's grade A, right? That's a grade A there. You know, the 8444, we need grades, of course. So we should have a grade of A. It comes to be true. Let's again run again. In fact, it should be now. This is the That's a problem. So let's run this. So it should be grade C. There we go. So the score is greater or equal to this. So in this example, the program actually checks the condition in order. Since score is 75, it print grade C. The first condition that evaluates to true. That is it. So how ELF works. So when you use ELF, Python evaluates the condition from the top to the bottom. As soon as it finds the condition that is true, it executes that block and skips all remaining conditions. So it's important to know that only the first true condition will be executed, even if multiple conditions are true. So Python stops after executing the first merging block. For example, if we say that, let's use a categorizing age group here. So I will change this to age, age, right? Oh, sorry, my keyboard, age. And now I will maybe say 20, 25, right? So if age is less than, I can just change this. I can just copy. Okay, I can change this age. It's good to copy this. So copy that, paste over here, and paste over there. So we can say that if age is less than 13, let's say 13, we can say that this is a child, right? So we can just print and say, you are a child. You are So it will be somewhere there. So let's run. And you are an adult because 25, of course. So it's printing over this one. Okay, so we use elf when you have multiple mutually exclusive condition to check because they are mutually exclusive. They don't depend on each other. So this is more efficient than using a multiple separate if statement because Python stops checking once it finds a true condition. That was the true condition just right there. So let's do an example of a day of a week checker, right? I don't know how long is this? It's been a long. Let me just write this down and then I'll just print out. So if I run this, let's check this. So the day is 3, it should be Wednesday, right? So if I run this, and there we have a Wednesday. So this is how we can create a week checker by using elf statement. So thank you for joining the class of today and see you in the next lesson. This is the Wolf Learning and welcome.